What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to go over some games that were shown at the Future Games Show that stood out to me or had some sort of info, something that I want to say on them. Now, I have a handful of games, some of which I wanted to look for anyway, games like Chronos, games like FBC Firebreak. We'll talk about those in this video. One game that I was not expecting did actually really stand out for me. I want to kind of just shout it out for those that watch this video, and let us begin. So I'm going to start with the ones that I wrote down and we're kind of waiting on, for the show. Let's start with FBC Firebreak. This one's complicated. This one is like, look, because Remedy is such a freaking fantastic developer, and I want them to keep doing their thing. I want them to keep being weird and push the envelope, as one would say. And look, when it comes to this game, and we did see, an okay amount of extended gameplay. We still know it's coming in the summer. We still know it's a Game Pass game and a PS Plus game. Like, this game is free no matter how you slice it. But I gotta say something honestly. I really hope those contracts are gonna make them some money, because I don't see how many people are gonna buy it. And the game itself just doesn't look that special to me. I guess that would be the main thing that really stood out as I'm watching it. It looks fine. It looks like something I am going to try out. Again, I really love Remedy. Alan Wake 2 is my game of the year. So, I want them to keep doing their thing. This is not their thing. This is them trying to do something different and maybe get something that can maybe last long term and bring in reoccurring revenue. And can't really fault them for trying, but besides, I don't even know what is supposed to be Remedy about it, in terms of the look. It really doesn't have a standout look. The weaponry doesn't look like, there is like unique weapons, but it doesn't look like something massively over the top, like something that's really going to stand out. So sadly, this is a sad one. I got to report, I'm not really all that pleased with what we saw. It doesn't look unique. It really just looks like one of 10,000 other games that look exactly like it. Want to believe in it because of who it's coming from, want to support it, want to play it, but I'm not going to hold back how I feel. It doesn't look like anything special, and so I guess we'll see how it goes. Again, we didn't get any other details. It was just the first kind of official look at it. Looks fine, but it doesn't look anything, I think, more than fine. Next up is Chronos. Now, this was one that I actually was really excited for. Bloober Team hot off the heels of Silent Hill 2 Remake. And to be fair, okay, they showed maybe like 5 seconds of gameplay. And in those 5 seconds of gameplay, okay, maybe it was a little bit more, maybe 10. It did look really good. It very much gave off the Dead Space-like vibes, the Silent Hill type vibes. And you kind of expect that. Really, all I'm hoping for this game is it continues a positive trend. It doesn't have to be a straight shot. It doesn't have to be, okay, well, this game has to be better than Silent Hill 2 Remake, but just, continue to push it that this is Bloober Team, evolving and learning from Layers of Fear and, kind of their earlier days. I either forgot this or didn't know it, or they just said it for the first time. You can tell me in the comments which one's accurate. The game's coming out this year. The game's coming out seemingly fall, because they say later in the year of 2025. So I did, again, either I forgot that, I never knew it in the first place, or they just announced it. One of those three, but that's pretty cool. So this one also was not, in terms of the games that really stood out to me, FBC Firebreak was one that I was, looking forward to seeing something on. They did show something. This is another one that I wanted to see and was generally impressed. They talked about it for like 10 seconds as well, so you got a whole 20 seconds. Again, slight exaggeration, but I thought we would get more, especially because this was actually the One More Thing. No, this was right before the One More Thing, I believe. Okay, hopping to number 3. This was probably, if I'm looking at my list here, I think this has to be the standout one. Reanimal. Reanimal, from the makers, of course, of Little Nightmares 1 and 2. I know a lot of people in my comment section, when I was talking about Little Nightmares 3 just a few days ago, everybody's asking about Reanimal, and I don't think it's like a disservice or discredit to Little Nightmares 3, but there's a lot of anticipation, and let me tell you something, it looks so freaking good. Now, to be honest with you, it very much looks like what would Little Nightmares 3 be like if they just made it, right? If you change the name, if I showed you that game and I told you it was Little Nightmares 3, I have probably like an 80% chance of you believing me. It's got the same vibes. It's got the same, I guess, like visual kind of palette. It's got 2 characters. It's got characters running away from things. And there's even like an under the table section, very reminiscent to me of like Little Nightmares 1, or I don't know, just a lot of creatures chasing you and you have things to go through like L and Z shape type stuff. Very reminiscent of Little Nightmares 1 and 2. too. So, you know, it's very much, I don't know if it's going to reinvent the wheel. I don't think it's going to reinvent the wheel. However, the one thing it is doing, of course, is it's being co-op. Now, funny enough, that's literally Little Nightmares 3 is also going to be co-op. They said in this game presentation that was something pretty early on. You know, they settled on, they wanted to make it co-op, but the game just looks phenomenal. I mean, I get it. I forgot about it, to be honest with you. So when people were saying, oh, talk about Reanimal, or oh, I wonder where Reanimal was, I was thinking, man, name sounds familiar, but I can't quite place it. Well, now I remember, and the game looks fantastic. So this one, very, very good. Again, in terms of release and all that stuff, this one I think actually they gave the least amount of info out of all of the games, so not perfectly ideal. But you know, you'll have Little Nightmares 3 hopefully sometime soon, and then sometime soon after that, you hopefully can have this game. Okay, number 4 is Kingmakers, and this is a game that I actually have had my eye on. Not like so much, but I've watched trailers. I was ready for it to appear at this show, and basically what this is that medieval but also futuristic kind of warfare, and you know, kind of top-down tactical, but then you get to jump in and it's just, you know, thousands. I wasn't that appreciative of the direct shot fired from the game maker at Dynasty Warriors. I think he took a direct freaking shot there. Don't know if you needed to do that, but you know, to his credit, they're really, I think, pushing this thing. You know, they're using Unreal Engine 4, but because they're using Unreal Engine 4, they're able to do these physics where everything is destructible. They're able to have so many, in fact, they say thousands of, you know, soldiers, I guess you can call them soldiers, right, on screen at any given time. You're out there, you're taking them out. They talk about co-op, so you and up to 3 friends, I believe, so 4 of you in all can play the game. Even the single player, like the campaign, you can do that cooperatively, and so you can have not just your army of thousands, but all 4 of your army of thousands combined. So very, it sounds very ambitious, and it's something that I don't know if I'll actually ever fully believe it until it actually is out, if that makes sense. But I love it. I love the, I don't know, just the idea. I do like those type of games. I like large army type games. That's why the Dynasty Warriors thing was kind of weird, but I do like the idea. I want to play this game. It's definitely a game I'm looking forward to. And another one, you know, I think originally this was supposed to be 2024 and then it was delayed. So he says 2025 again. No update to that. Probably a fall game, if that. Hopefully it comes out this year. If not, I guess we'll have to talk about it again next year. And the final game I want to shout out is Will Follow the Light. This was one that, you know, I watched the entire show. There was a couple standouts. That the very, very last game, I thought, you know, there's a couple things, okay, throughout the entire show. But this game, when Nolan North specifically was leading into it or introducing it, and he said that this draws inspiration from Firewatch. As soon as he said the word Firewatch, my eyes, because I was doing a couple different things, my eyes darted to the screen. I said, oh, I know that game. No, honestly, Firewatch is an incredible video game. Love it. One of the all-time, I think, great indie games. It just looks fantastic. I mean, I do like the visuals. I think there seems to be a feeling of like this isolation, which, you know, Firewatch absolutely has that feeling of isolation, but then also because you have the walkie-talkie, it's got that kind of, you know, relationship thing building. So I don't know if it's going to do that. You know, he walks seemingly through a ship and sees his dad. I don't know if that's like, you know, spirit or that he's not actually there. You're going to probably have to have some sort, if you want to consider yourself something that draws inspiration from Firewatch, you're probably going to need somebody to bounce off dialogue with at some point in your game. So I'm assuming that's there, but everything we saw of this game looks really freaking sweet. I think it comes out on consoles. I know PS5 for sure. I don't remember if that was the only console, but PlayStation at least, maybe Xbox, and then PC later this year. So this is another 2025 game. In fact, to be fair, a lot of games they showed today were, you know, 2025 games. So I'm really excited for that one. That's one I'm going to have to just, I wrote it down so I just don't forget that name, Will Follow the Light. It's not a name I'll necessarily remember without writing it down, so I had to do that. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.